What would you do if someone you trusted and gave everything to suddenly abandoned you? Betrayal is a wound that never truly heals. It festers beneath the surface, twisting love into hatred, devotion into obsession. When trust is shattered, the heart searches for justice, sometimes in the cruelest ways imaginable. A broken promise, a callous goodbye, or a love discarded like yesterday's memory can awaken the darkest parts of the human soul. Some move on. For those who can't let go, betrayal becomes a spark, a single ember that ignites an inferno of destruction. Listen to the story of David and Janice.
Room 1002 at the Woodland Lodge was supposed to be empty. When the housekeeper knocked and received no answer, she hesitated before using her keycard. The moment the door swung open, an unnatural chill seeped into the hallway. The air smelled of stale perfume and something metallic. Then, she saw it. A woman lay on the bed, her lifeless body frozen in terror. The pristine sheets were untouched, except for the dark red stain beneath her. On the nightstand, a single note lay folded with meticulous precision. Her trembling fingers reached for it. The message short and chillingly said, "Not satisfied yet." The housekeeper stumbled backward, knocking over her cart. Bottles and rags clattered to the floor, but she barely noticed. Her scream echoed through the hallway, drawing the attention of staff and guests alike. The hunt for another killer had just taken a turn. For 2 years, Detective Evelyn Carter had chased the elusive hotel room's mysterious killer. 19 victims killed the same way in 19 hotel rooms. No fingerprints. No forced entry. The only connection was the cryptic note, "Not satisfied yet," left at every scene. But this time, something was different. A security footage from the gas station across the street. Evelyn's pulse quickened. For the first time, they had something, a shadowy figure exiting the hotel at 2:43 a.m. Though it was not clear enough, but it was more than they had before. "Run facial recognition," she ordered. "And cross-check every transaction at this hotel in the last 48 hours. Her colleague Peter hesitated. That's the thing. The room was booked with another stolen credit card. But this time, it's from the same batch as the last one. Evelyn's stomach twisted. The killer had made a mistake. David Shaw had never known love. Raised in a broken home, he learned early that affection was fleeting. His mother, worn down by bad choices, drifted from man to man. His father? Just a name on paper. David grew up invisible, unwanted. Until he met Janice. She was everything he wasn't, wealthy, confident, untouchable. And yet, she had chosen him. David had worshipped her. He worked overtime, took out loans, put her through college and made their property's documents in her name, anything to prove he was worthy. Then, one day, she was gone. No goodbye. Just a note, neatly written. "I'm bored, David. I move." Those simple words. Years of sacrifice erased. David sat in their empty apartment staring at the note until the words blurred. His world had ended. How wicked and selfish some women can be, he thought. No. Someone had to pay for it. Every woman reminded him of Janice. The way they laughed, the way they tossed their hair, the way they looked at him like he was nothing. She had used him and discarded him. He had to get revenge. His first victim had been like an accident. Or at least, that's what he told himself. But the way she had flirted with him at the bar, the way she leaned in close, teasing, making him feel like he mattered, until she didn't. Until she pulled away with that same dismissive smirk Janice had worn the night she left. He hadn't planned it. But when he saw her enter her hotel room alone, when he followed her inside without anyone noticing him, when he wrapped his hands around her throat, it had felt right. And after that, it was easy. one after another, city to city. They all became her. Janice. Janice. Janice, 19 times. Each one paid for what Janice did. Each one bled on her behalf. Evelyn and her team scoured credit card fraud reports, searching for any connection to the hotel phantom. A pattern emerged, several stolen cards linked to the same data breach. "We've got him," she whispered, staring at the connection on the screen. Different names, same stolen data. One was traced to an address, 1423, Oakwood Drive. Evelyn's eyes narrowed. "Peter, what do we know about this address?" Peter's fingers flew across his keyboard. "It's a residential address, Evelyn. And get this, the previous occupant was a David Shaw." Evelyn's eyes locked onto the screen. But how did he use a stolen credit card to book the hotel room without raising any flags? "Looks like he used a fake identity," Peter replied. But here's the thing, the IP address used to make the reservation matches an IP address previously linked to David Shaw. Evelyn's team quickly obtained a search warrant for the hotel's registration records. The evidence confirmed their suspicions. The credit card used to book the room was linked to a fake identity, but the IP address matched David Shaw's. With this new information came the breakthrough. Hotels across the city had flagged fraudulent transactions from the same batch of stolen cards. Each time, a different alias, a different room. But one hotel had logged the same fake name twice, once a year ago, and again just last week. "That's it," Pierce said. "We set a trap." The police knew his habits. They monitored hotels known for fraudulent card activity, tracking alerts in real time. When David used one of the stolen cards again, they were ready. At exactly 11:32 p.m., he walked in. David Shaw entered the lobby of the Blackwood Grand Hotel, dressed in a baseball cap and sunglasses, his expression neutral. He had no idea they were waiting. As soon as he reached the front desk, officers moved in. "David Shaw, you're under arrest." Evelyn stepped forward, locking eyes with him. His expression didn't waver. Even as the cuffs clicked around his wrists, he remained disturbingly calm. She leaned in. "Satisfied now?" David smirked. "Not yet." Janice on her own had spent years burying her guilt under layers of success. She had built a perfect life, far away from her past until she saw his face on the news. David Shaw. The hotel mystery killer. Captured. When Evelyn reached out to her for insight, Janice resisted. But as the details of his crimes unfolded, 19 victims over a 2-year period. About to do the 20 but got caught. Janice's eyes widened. She felt a deep, undeniable responsibility. "He loved me more than anyone ever did," Janice admitted to Evelyn when they met. "And I broke him. I can't undo that, but I can help you understand why he became what he did." Her confession was raw. She spoke of how she had taken David's devotion for granted, how her decision to leave had been selfish. "I was cruel," she said, tears streaming down her face. "But I never thought he'd. I didn't think I had that kind of power over someone." The courtroom was silent as the judge read the verdict. Life in prison. No possibility of parole. The families of the victims sat in quiet relief. The nightmare was over. David sat motionless, staring ahead as though the words meant nothing. But for the first time, there was no smirk. No last cryptic message. As the guards led him away, Janice watched from the back of the courtroom, tears streaking her face. She had walked away from him once, never looking back. Now, she couldn't look away. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about David and Janice in the comments. Have you ever experienced betrayal? Stay cautious, because betrayal cuts deep, leaving scars that may never fade. Remember, not everyone can handle the pain the same way, and sometimes the biggest betrayals come from those we least expect. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. Until next time.